Okay, you will not believe what we're about to get into today. This is simply unreal. This FTX case keeps getting weirder and weirder and crazier all at the same time. It is a huge mess, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about all of it. Now, I know this stuff is all over the internet. I'm not the first one to talk about this, but I guarantee you're going to find something new that you didn't yet know about this case in today's video, so I hope you stick with me till the end of it. If you guys are unaware of who I am RexFinance. I'm a 21-year-old finance entrepreneur, investor guy here on YouTube. So your subscription would mean a lot to me if you hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. We know the rules. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be going through the initial bankruptcy filing, and let me tell you, there are some juicy things here. First of all, the guy that was appointed to lead this bankruptcy is a guy named John J. Ray III, which if you are unfamiliar, this guy has worked with Enron. He was the guy hired to figure out the whole Enron situation, perhaps the most well-known and worst fraud in our nation's history. This was the guy that was brought in to solve all of that. In his short time at FTX, he has already brought in Sullivan and Cromwell, as well as Alvarez and Marsal. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's my guess. This Sullivan and Cromwell is a leading restructuring firm, while this Alvarez and Marsal firm is a leading restructuring advisory firm. I know, I don't know the difference, but there's two different people here, two different firms here. And well, let's just say that these guys are not guys that I would even buy Christmas gifts for just to be nice. I want to avoid these guys at all costs because they are legit. These dudes are very serious guys working on a very, very serious case here. And to prove that point, listen to this. In paragraph 4 of this filing, John Ray goes through all of his experience in this industry. Over 40 years of legal and restructuring experience, yada, yada, yada. Chief restructuring officers, CEOs of several of the largest corporate failures in history. Again, this is the guy that FTX brought in. And if we scroll down here, he says, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information." John Ray, the guy in charge, is calling this worse than Enron. Enron is like the be-all, send-all, whatever that phrase is. Enron is the company and the fraud we talk about in my college classes, my freshman year college classes. Nobody is unaware of what Enron and WorldCom and all of that stuff, how that went down and how those were the biggest frauds in history. And here we are, the same guy that was a part of Enron is calling FTX worse than that. Worse than that. Anyways, I hope you guys can understand why I have no idea where to start with this video, but I'll start with this. First of all, this is going to go unnoticed by a lot of people. I haven't seen anybody cover it yet. But FTX made a personal loan to Bankman-Fried of $1 billion for him to use for his own personal reasons. $1 billion. And guess where FTX is getting this money? Customers' deposits. All of this financing they've done on the basis that they have all of these customers' deposits and assets on their platform, it's all a result of that. And then this is terrible. If we scroll down to paragraph 59, this blows my mind. In paragraph 59, they say FTX Group's approach to human resources combined employees of various entities and outside contractors with unclear records and lines of responsibility. Basically, this paragraph is saying that FTX does not have a list of its employees and contractors. It has no list or recollection of what their responsibilities are or how long their agreements go for, how long they've been hired and have been working for FTX. None of that exists. How is this possible? I mean, they don't even have a list of employees that have been fired that shouldn't be coming back to the company because they've been fired. They don't have that. And then somehow this gets even worse. If we scroll up just slightly to paragraph 55, by the way, I will leave a link to this filing in the description down below if you want to look at this for yourself. But basically what paragraph 55 is saying is that the auditor for FTX International, their only office is in the metaverse. This audit firm that they hired, their office is in the metaverse. Like this auditing firm prides themselves on being the first ever auditor to have an office in the metaverse. How crazy is that? And you know what? FTX Here's a big bag for you, metaverse audit firm. Tell us that our financials look good. There's no regulation in the metaverse. This makes no sense. That's why FTX reached out to this audit firm, because there is no regulation there. That audit firm has no risk whatsoever if they are wrong or if they say something false. Now up to paragraph 50 under the cash management heading. FTX Group did not maintain centralized control of its cash. Cash management procedural failures included the absence of an accurate list of bank accounts and account signatories? What? Again, Business 101, my freshman year coming into the university here in Nebraska. Business 101, you learn about this stuff. Oh, we should probably have a list of all of our bank accounts and signatories and how we access these accounts and their passwords and their security around them, all of these things. FTX didn't have that. Business 101. And then lastly, this is honestly unbelievable. Paragraph 65. Everybody follow along here because you're probably never going to see anything like this again. There was a secret exemption of Alameda from certain aspects of FTX.com's auto liquidation protocol. Basically what that means is Alameda, zero chance that they're going to get liquidated or have a margin call, meaning that Alameda can borrow as many of FTX's customer deposits as they want without recourse. If they do something stupid with customers' money, they have exemptions from getting margin called by FTX. Unlimited margin without the ability to be margin called is a terrible idea. Again, I have no idea how this came to be. But beyond this, some of FTX's private keys were being shared in an unsecured group email account. What? Most email services today are secured, or you can encrypt your emails. FTX, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We're just managing several billions dollars worth of customer funds. What in the world is going on here? Beyond private keys, they had other critically sensitive data for the FTX Group companies around the world. They had no daily reconciliations of positions on the blockchain. Oh my gosh. Okay, somehow I figured out a way to make this even worse. Paragraph 63. In the Bahamas, I understand that corporate funds of the FTX Group were used to purchase homes and other personal items for employees and advisors. Oh my gosh. But thank God, literally, that they have the A team working on this. In addition to those firms I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the investigative effort is underway, led by myself and a team, obviously Sullivan and Cromwell. Also, this team includes a former director of enforcement at the SEC, former director of enforcement at the CFTC, former chief of the Complex Frauds and Cybercrime Unit of the United States Attorney's Office of the Southern District of New York. This is literally the A team. This is not a cheap case. But the fraud here is endless. It is boundless. I mean, they're going to be finding new things about this case forever going into the future. There will be multiple movies made on this bankruptcy and this fraud case. You heard it from the guy himself. This is worse than Enron. Worse than Enron. Let that sink in. This is the worst fraud that we have experienced in the history of human civilization. We have experienced that in the past month. Again, I can almost assure you learned something new that you didn't already know. If you did, leave a like down below. Again, I'll leave a link to this filing in the description down below. If you want to read through all the mumbo jumbo all together for yourself, feel free to do so. I've highlighted the main points though. This case is incredible. But I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay blessed, keep 10 toes to the ground and your chin up. Peace out.